Hey, girl. I've been really thinking about it, and I'm really sorry about what happened today. You waited until 1 a.m. to text me sorry? Don't you think it's a bit late for that? It must be so nice to be so nonchalant about everything. How am I being nonchalant? I realized what I did was wrong and I'm apologizing. Isn't that good enough for you? Why can't you just stay quiet and accept the apology? Stay quiet? You're acting quite high and mighty considering what you did to me today. Well, my husband, Brad, is a lawyer, so… Okay. You keep telling me this, but I don't see how that affects the situation. So what if he's a lawyer? What do you mean? He's a lawyer. He knows all the rules like the back of his hand. He's like a rule book of all the laws. If he says something is okay, then it's okay. Okay. And? So you're saying all the times you dined and dashed, including yesterday, are okay because your husband is a lawyer? Making up excuses like, oh, I have a phone call, or my stomach hurts, and ditching without paying for your meal? Well, yeah. He told me not to worry about it, so it's fine. But I figured I should at least apologize, you know? Why waste time apologizing to me when you don't even regret what you did? And you probably even plan to do it again? Why don't you think I regret what I did? Because I went home early? I really want to see a man who actually forgives his wife for doing something like that. But in case you still don't understand, let me try and make it clear for you again. You didn't have to pay for your meal that one time because it was a welcome party for you when you first moved into the neighborhood. Every dinner party after that, every single person has to pay for their own meal, including you. So it doesn't matter whether you apologize or not. Just make sure you fully pay back everyone who ever stepped up and paid for your meal for you. You can't keep doing this, Molly. Are you sure? Nobody's really said anything to me about it, so I figured they paid for me out of the kindness of their hearts. Are you sure you aren't just misunderstanding things, Isabel? What am I misunderstanding? Please tell me. Yeah, you're the only one who's telling me things like that. Nobody else seems to have a problem with it. It's not something you can really say to a new lady whose husband is a lawyer. They just don't know how to approach it without being scared you'd drag them to court. Plus, it doesn't matter if people tell you or not. You still have to pay for the food that you order. Huh, really? I'm going to ask Brad and I'll tell him what you said. Uh-huh. You go ahead and do that. Ask that rulebook husband of yours. Isabel, you're coming off as quite aggressive. Is everything okay? What do you mean? Oh, I guess you really don't know anything then. I guess that's for the better anyways. What? What are you even talking about? Whatever, I apologized, so everything should be fine. Talk to you later, girl. Hey, Isabel. What's with this weird envelope? You didn't waste any time messaging me, did you? You're pretty fast when it comes to things that negatively impact you. But you love taking your own sweet time when it comes to others. You waited until the middle of the night to come and apologize to me. Leave me alone. I'm free to do what I want. Plus, I'm busy. So I take it you read the contents of that envelope then? What do you mean? Of course I read it. Are you kidding me? What do you mean I have to pay you $5,000? What is that all about? That's your way overdue bill for the times you didn't pay for your meals and other things. I was pretty surprised when I calculated all the costs, but I don't think it's something for you to be shocked about if I'm being honest. At the very least, you should have known it would be this much. Wait, this… Does this include the times where it wasn't just you and I eating together? Why did you include that? It's every single time you've not paid for something since you moved into the neighborhood. I went around and asked all of our friends, too.
What? Who gives you the right to do something like that? You're pretty brave to come and tell me to give you money like that. My husband's a lawyer, you know. I'm going to file a lawsuit against you and make your life a living hell.
I don't know if you know this, but Brad works at my law firm.
Wait, what?
By the way, the one who organized and sent that envelope was my husband, Quan, who also happens to be a lawyer.
What?
What?
Wait just a second. There's so much information, my brain can't process this.
Well, I mean, yeah. You are Molly, after all. I should have known it would take some time for you to understand all of this.
Did you just call me stupid? You're such a horrible person.
It's ironic, isn't it? Your reply from a couple days ago looks like you're the one who doesn't know anything.
You're really pissing me off. So what? So what if Brad works for your husband's company? So what if your husband is a lawyer?
Brad transferred his workplace, didn't he? When you all moved into this area?
Yeah. So what? What's your point?
He's an administrative staff at the law firm I run.
Okay. Are you trying to say that you're on a higher level than I am because my husband works for you?
Not really. I don't really care for stupid things like that. But it seems like you still haven't picked up what I'm getting at.
What are you talking about? You're so annoying. Gosh.
You said Brad was a lawyer, right? But he's not. He's an administrative staff member. Huh. That's weird, isn't it?
Are you sure you're not just getting it wrong? The person you're talking about probably is the wrong person. That's not my husband. So stop the false accusations.
No, listen. The letter I sent you? How do you think I got your address? Brad works at my firm, so I have his personal information.
Huh?
And you messaged me as soon as you got the letter, so it definitely wasn't a mistake. Congratulations! You just proved it yourself.
What the heck? I can't believe you're going around and using people's personal information. That's an invasion of privacy.
I'm sure I said it before, but my husband, Juan, who is a lawyer, organized the letter to be sent. Even though I'm the employer, I'm not allowed to use people's personal information at my own free will. Neither are other employees, nor regular citizens. However, if I make a request to a lawyer to investigate a certain matter, it's allowed. So yeah.
If a woman asks her husband to help her like that, that's conflict of interest, isn't it? It's mixing up private affairs with public business.
Yes, we may be married, but we still went through a process of requesting the job and we signed an agreement. Quan is also the legal advisor of my company, so he has a lot of other contracts that he goes through on a daily basis. Why would he handle my case for free just because I'm his wife? There's no way.
But you still have your feelings, don't you?
You can't do work based upon feelings. You're bound for failure if you do that, you know? Oh well, not that you'd understand that anyways. I mean, you seem to be completely fine with running away from the bill when you go to eat and whatever else with your friends. Anyways, at least I was able to prove that Brad isn't actually a lawyer.
You plan to sue your employee's wife and bring him down at the same time?
I'm bringing him down with you? Nope. I think I'm actually doing him a huge favor.
What?
I don't think there's a lot of places who would hire him with that kind of resume. It's pretty flimsy, to be honest.
Hey! That's pretty rude to say to someone about their husband, isn't it? You've got some nerve. He graduated from a very prestigious law school, you know. Top school in the state, actually.
Yes, I do know.
What's with that condescending tone? Stop making fun of him.
So, You go around telling everyone he's a lawyer just because he graduated from law school? What a simple way of thinking.
What's your point? If you graduate from law school, don't you become a lawyer?
Not necessarily, but whatever. Anyways, I was also able to figure out why his resume is so flimsy. It seems as though it had a lot to do with you, as I expected.
What? What do you mean, as you expected? What are you talking about?
Molly, it looks like you've been doing your little dine and dash deal since long before you moved here, haven't you?
Huh?
You've been avoiding paying for things for a while. Ever since your daughter started kindergarten. You've been somehow getting by until you get caught or something goes wrong, and then you move. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. And now, here we are. Isn't that right?
What? How did you know that? What, did you hire a detective to spy on me too?
Nope, there's no need for me to do all that. Brad told me everything.
What? What do you mean he told you?
Yep. I didn't even have to press him for details or anything. He just kept telling me your whole story.
But why? Why would he tell you my personal business like that?
Well, you see, you probably don't know this either. Brad and Juan were actually classmates in law school.
What?
Yeah. Juan is a graduate of the same exact prestigious law school you were bragging about earlier. Plus, he actually became a lawyer.
No way. Girl, I don't have time for your jokes.
Apparently, they haven't had much direct contact since graduation, but they talked a lot when they went to their recent class reunion. He ended up telling Juan pretty much everything about your lifestyle. I also know that Brad was trying to become a lawyer for years, but it didn't really work out.
For real?
For real, for real.
So, does that mean that you've all been tricking me this whole time?
What? Tricking you?
I mean, yeah. Like, you knew he was my husband, and that's why you hired him.
No. I hired him to work at my firm way before you all moved here. I didn't even know you back then. There's no reason for me to hire him because he's married to you. I also only recently found out you were married when I was asking around our friends about your misdemeanors.
I don't care when you realized. The point is that you realized it in the first place. Why didn't you tell me anything?
You know what, Molly? You kept going around and telling people lies that your husband was a lawyer. Did you think I could just say something like, "Actually, your husband works for me. Did you know that?" Well, if I said that, then it might have leaked out somewhere else. It also would have been quite embarrassing for you. I didn't say it because I was looking out for you. Should I not have?
Well, no. I'm glad for that.
Right? Instead of complaining about everything, I think you should be grateful. I could have told everyone the truth, but I didn't. You probably would have fought me anyways.
You must have been having the time of your life, though, right? Like,
look at this lady. She's still telling everyone he's a lawyer, but he's really just my employee.
Right?
Why are you like this? You have such a twisted way of thinking. I didn't really think much of it, to be honest. I mean, I did think, oh boy, there she goes again, but that's it, really.
See? I knew it. I knew you've been thinking it. You've been laughing at me in your head. You're such a mean person.
Well, of course I did think it. That much is true. But what of it? Why are you getting so worked up about this?
Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore, because I probably won't ever talk to you again.
Wait, huh?
It's a lot sooner than I had planned, but we're moving again. It shouldn't have been for another 3 weeks, but...
You're what?
Yep. It's just like you said. As soon as things get complicated, I pack up and leave. It's too much trouble to figure things out, so I always just like to disappear. Sorry to ask, but can you also start processing Brad's resignation? I have to go find another job too. This is annoying. Okay, if you want to leave, then that's fine by me. But can you leave on your own? What? I'm not going to let him go. And he also doesn't have any intentions of leaving either. Who do you think you are? How are you going to tell me what my husband is or isn't going to do? I'm his wife, and I'm telling you that we're both leaving. So you better hurry up and process that resignation. Okay, but he's the one who said that he's not leaving. He told me to tell you that if you really want to leave, then you're on your own. What? There's no way he would say something like that. You're lying. I told you before, didn't I? I told you that we were discussing various things, and he also asked me for advice on his future with you. What the heck? In that envelope you received earlier, did you find another, smaller envelope inside? Yeah, what about it? Did you open it? Not yet. What's so special about that envelope anyways? You should open it. Like, right now. I'm not kidding. Okay, jeez. Stop being so weird about it. Give me a second. When you open it, make sure you read everything, okay? Every last word. Wait. What the heck is this letter and divorce papers? What's going on? After our discussion, that's the conclusion Brad came to regarding this whole situation. Do you understand? Wait, does that mean he wants to divorce me? This can't be happening. Well, obviously. What else could it be? I can't believe you did this. Did you tell him to do this? You must have convinced him. Nope. This is 100% his decision. He just wanted my opinion on it, and I basically told him to do what he thinks is right. I just don't get it. We've been together for so long. The both of us have gone through so much together. Apparently, he was with you for so long because he felt bad that you supported him so much when he was taking his bar exam. But now he's at his wit's end because he needs to start thinking about how he can prevent anything bad from happening to himself and your daughter. Huh? When you were with him during his preparations for his bar exam, you two had a kid that you weren't planning for. That's why he married you. Yeah, that's true. So what? You were there for him during his exam prep as a paralegal. He watched you go through pregnancy, childbirth, and raising the child, and he felt indebted to you. He felt that he couldn't watch you go through the stress of helping him with his bar exam, so that's why he gave up on his dream of becoming a lawyer. Yeah, that was a rough time, but we were trying our best to get through it together. But he said that around the time your daughter started kindergarten, you began to change. It was probably because you started to compare your life to your other friends who were mothers as well. He told me that one day you said, "You're going to become a lawyer from one of the top law schools in the state, so if anything happens, I'm covered." Yeah. All the moms around me had husbands who worked at places like mega banks and trading firms. Some were international investors and consultants. There were dentists, doctors, and even government officials. And then there's Brad, who couldn't even become a lousy lawyer. He was just a paralegal who worked at someone else's law firm. In other words, he was just a glorified office assistant. I couldn't tell the other moms that. They'd laugh at me. It would have been so embarrassing. So I just went with a lawyer from a prestigious law school. I figured I wasn't telling too much of a lie, because he did graduate from a prestigious law school, and he did work at a law firm. They just didn't have to know exactly what he did at his job. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? You might think there's nothing wrong with telling a little lie like that, but don't you think that could have hurt Brad's pride? Did you even stop to think how he would feel about pretending to be the very thing he gave up on for your sake? Just so you could look good in others' eyes? I don't care about that. For the most part, I believed him when he would tell me that he was going to become a lawyer. I never complained about it. Because then, that would mean that I'd be a lawyer's wife. Everyone would be jealous of me, and I probably wouldn't have had to work myself. I could have been living my best trophy wife life. But then he went and quit after working so hard on it for his whole life. I just couldn't understand why he would do that. That's what you call being selfish. So that means I'm allowed to be selfish too. I didn't do anything wrong. Just because he went and did something you didn't expect him to doesn't mean that you can go and force him to lie for your sake. It also doesn't give you a free pass to cause trouble for everyone else through your dining and dashing. Didn't I tell you before? All my friends were rich moms. How much do you think it costs to be friends with those kinds of people? Lunch with them on a regular day can be up to $50. I don't have that kind of money. All I did was use my head a little bit so I could have fun and hang out with them. You just ran away when things didn't go your way. How is that using your head? It takes a lot of creativity to come up with all those excuses as to why I can't pay for things, you know. One time I told them I couldn't pay because my dog needed eye surgery. I don't even have a dog. That's what you're using your head for? I think you could have used it for something a lot better, to be honest. Like, I don't know, a full-time job. That way maybe Brad could quit his paralegal job and stop running all over the country with you because you needed to avoid the consequences of your actions. Plus, the only times your friends were all rich was when you lived in Las Vegas. All the other times after that were more rural areas. You could have paid for your meals with the money you got from your part-time, I'm sure. It was just your way of relieving stress, no matter how bad it was. Okay. What's wrong with stress relief? Isn't that a good thing? Besides, it's funny how the guy who gave up on becoming a lawyer has the audacity to be the one who wants the divorce. Actually, rather than just give up, I think he just slowly realized that being a lawyer just wasn't for him. What? I don't even know him that well, but I could tell that with his personality, he probably wouldn't make a good lawyer. No offense to him, of course. He's way too soft and gentle of a person for that. He couldn't even put his foot down about what you were doing. How do you think he could become a lawyer? That's true, I guess. Whenever I would raise my voice at him just a little bit, he'd back down. He was always like that. It could also be that his personality worked well for you. He was easy to push around. You could manipulate him with no problems. Excuse me? No matter what you did or said, he wouldn't have anything to say about it. He just let you do whatever you wanted. You're really just insulting my husband straight to my face. No, I'm not. He might not have been fit to become a lawyer, but he's still a great guy with a lovely personality. Everybody loves him, and he's an honest and hard worker. That's also why I hired him. Quan actually recommended him to me. What? When Brett happened to come to my firm for a job interview, Quan saw him. He went up to him like, "Sup, bro? It's been a minute. How have you been?" When he came for the interview, we spoke a lot and I asked him if he would be interested in going for a legal document assistant position. Wait, what? A legal document assistant? Really? If he studied for the bar exam, he would definitely have enough knowledge for it. It's not too far-fetched for him to try it out. For real? Does that mean he can get his national qualifications? Sure, if he really tried. Great! Then I'll stay too. We can forget about all of this if I just paid you the $5,000, right? I really don't think it's that easy. What do you mean? I mean, he still sent you divorce papers. Did you forget about those? Oh, shoot. If he didn't give up on becoming a lawyer, we probably wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. All he had to do was just pass the stupid bar. I always told him that he's the reason why we're living the life we live. Ugh, why is this happening to me? There are some things that are easier said than done, you know. On top of the bar exam, just being with you was dealing him a lot of stress. So much so that he started losing a lot of hair. He also experienced a collapse of his automatic nervous system.
which affected things like his blood pressure and digestive system. He was just thinking about what was best for himself and his child. So that's why he sent you the divorce papers.
What are you even talking about?
Your daughter takes after her father, doesn't she? She also has a gentle and reserved personality, right? So watching you verbally abuse her father was causing stress for her, too.
Huh?
Her friends in middle school also seemed to talk about her a lot, and not in a good way.
What do you mean?
Well, of course they would. She's been caught up in your lifestyle and she's had to move schools so many times. It's clearly had a negative impact on her. And kids love poking fun at anyone who seems to stick out. She's been teased and bullied at school almost every day.
What? But why?
Because you don't pay for your meals when you eat out with their mothers. The moms complain about you at their dinner table, and their kids tell their friends about it at school the next day. A story like that is bound to spread like wildfire, especially when it comes to teenagers.
Huh. My daughter never told me about any of that.
Do you usually talk to her a lot?
Not really. She always went to her father when she needed to talk about things.
It looks like she was avoiding speaking with you at all costs. I heard she broke out with hives.
What?
Apparently she tried to tell you, but you never listened to her and just brushed it off. So I think you should actually take this seriously and think about what's best for your daughter and her health.
Isabel, you have to back me up on this. Your daughter is friends with mine, right?
It's too late for that now. Brad already got his lawyer, so I think you'll only be able to talk to him through that, right? Check the envelope that had the divorce papers. There should be a document with Juan's name on it. He will be Brad's lawyer.
Wow, you're right.
Molly, I think you should probably find a lawyer of your own. Not my husband, though. He's taken.
What the hell?
Well, I probably should get back to work now. Bye, girl.
Wait! If you're going back to work, that means you'll see Brad, right? Can you tell him I'm sorry? Come on, please. Just tell him that I'm sorry and that he should forgive me. Okay? You're going to tell him, right? Isabel!
Molly still was convinced that everything would be fixed if she just spoke with everyone. But she realized that neither her husband nor her daughter came back home to her, and she started to panic. She decided to have a peek into both of their rooms, and she was shocked to find out that both of them have been cleaned out completely. She finally realized that they'd moved out and left her. She freaked out, and I was the first person she tried to contact. Of course, I couldn't tell her where they were. She was completely at a loss when the reality hit her that she'd lost her family. Plus, there were other people who fell victim to Molly's actions, and they heard that we hired a lawyer and they started speaking up one after the other. In the end, Molly ended up with an extra $10,000 to pay in damages. She couldn't run away from it even if she tried. It's been 6 months since she started living on her own. It looks like she finally signed the divorce papers. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next video.